Hello and welcome to another reading vlog. This one I'm going to try to make as cozy and aesthetic as I can in the heat of summer. I am starting off this reading vlog with A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I used my cutest bookmark. I'm gonna try to take this book slowly, take my time with it, because I really want to love this one. I'm not going to force myself. If I really don't feel that way, I will be honest, but I'm really hoping that this is going to be, it doesn't have to be a favorite book, but a book that I really enjoy and can recommend. I started this book and I only got so far in the middle of chapter 2, and I thought I'd share the whole journey of reading this book so I can go back and see how I felt about it. So far I am confused because it's not a high fantasy, because I don't think the characters in this world know that there is magic and fairies. I think that's just superstition and no one believes that it's real except our main character believes. And I'm confused because I think there is 2 different races, I believe. I don't know if they're a race or just how I'm New Zealander and you might be American or British. I think it's just maybe like that, but they're fictional. I mean, in the book it's not fictional, but for us it's fictional races. I don't really know what to call it, but one of them is the Argentian, and what our main character is a Lur. I don't know exactly how you pronounce these words. I haven't heard anybody pronounce them because I'm not listening to an audiobook. I'm reading this physically. Aside from the confusion, I feel our character is not yet likable. She's not unlikable, but she's very passive, people pleaser, pushover. In chapter 1, a boy is rude to her and calls her a slur. She doesn't do anything about it, and it's fine, you don't have to do anything about that. But then she sees him again later and he's suddenly like, "You're really pretty." And she lets him give her number and everything. She could just be shy, nervous, traumatized, I don't know, but I don't love reading about a character that just will accept that sort of abuse. So hopefully she changes a bit, because I don't like that. When I was holding the book like this, I felt like, "Dear Lindy, we're just too good." I still have not yet seen Wicked, but I really want to. It's the next morning. It's around lunchtime now, but I got up at like 10-ish this morning, so I slept in. I've been reading pretty much since waking up. I just did my usual morning routine of taking my dog out and brushing my teeth, and then I started reading. And lately I've actually been timing how long I read in a day. I only started a couple of days ago, but I'll basically set the stopwatch on my phone and pause it every time I'm not reading and see how many hours or minutes I read that day. This morning, today, I've been reading for about 54 minutes and I'm on chapter 6, page 93. I just wanted to give an update now that I'm further through. What I said about Effie being a pushover, I understand why she would be that way. We're getting clues as to why she would be that way. She doesn't feel very safe, and I completely understand that. The only issue I have with it is as soon as she went to the house that she's going to be redesigning, she's only around men so far, and yet she's fine with speaking her mind and arguing with Preston, the boy, the love interest. She's fine with doing all that all of a sudden. She's not scared. And I just have an issue with that because, I mean, I guess the reason why you could say is that she just did not feel safe or comfortable at all at the university, being surrounded by men that didn't like her and everything. And this is a different space, a different area where people don't know her, and maybe, you know, but I just, it was the shift was obvious. It wasn't like she got into feeling comfortable. So I just took issue with that. But aside from that, I just wanted to update you on my thoughts of what I said before. But aside from that, I'm really enjoying the atmosphere and the setting. I really love the way that the town is slowly drowning. The town is slowly sinking, basically, into the ocean, into the sea. We're kind of learning that there was a drowning, probably like a long time ago, where I assume the town was drowned, and now they believe it's happening again. The tide comes onto the roads, and so there's specific times where people will drive and not drive depending on the tide, and I think that's really interesting. I really like that aspect. It's not something I've really read before, so I think it's pretty unique and interesting to read about. I like how much we're talking about the sea and how it's slowly taking over. It's very dark academia right now, which I love, and I'm having a pretty good time. Aside from those things I took issue with, I'm having a good time. But I think there is a trigger warning that we're going to get further into. Maybe she'll confide in Preston when they tolerate each other more, because right now it's like rivals. I think that's going to be kind of tough to read about, but I will let you know how I feel about that, and if you should check the trigger warnings, like if it's something that you need to know before reading a book, because it is for me. I think it's going to come up. I'm trying to be vague. It's not a spoiler, because trauma is not a spoiler and not a plot point, but I still want to keep it kind of vague. Plus, I don't know exactly yet, so I don't want to put it out there and be wrong. I'm just going to continue reading, let you know when I have another update. Sometimes I have to cut all my hair off. It's so long. I am back home. I put my hair in a little black ribbon because Effie ties her hair with a ribbon every single day. She probably does like half up, half down. I don't have thick enough hair to do that, so I just did a plait with a little black ribbon in it, and I tried to dress similar to how she dresses. I can't wear a full sleeve turtleneck because it is literally the summertime for us, so I still wore a turtleneck, just sleeveless, and this is brown and ribbed, and just some trousers. Don't mind the books on the ground, and I was wearing boots as well. But I just got home. We went to Starbucks and got a caramel frappuccino. I got mine without coffee because I prefer hot coffee, but it ended up being pretty sweet. Even though I got it on like a less sweet base, like the cream, got a bit sickly. We read there for a little bit. It was a bit distracting because there was music playing, and then pretty much just came home. I'm gonna put dinner on and read while it's on. Not while I'm eating. That is one thing I cannot do. I cannot read while eating. I'm trying to embody Effie because she's the main character of the book. She's the female and I'm a female. So, I don't know, I just thought since this is a reading vlog kind of based on a study in drowning, I thought I would play into the role a little bit. But yeah, I will see you soon. So here's some info on the first drowning. It wasn't a storm. It didn't happen all of a sudden. It took years, and it started with the wet season lasting longer than it should and the dry season being less dry than it ought to be. It was not taken as a warning. Have you heard the expression about the frog in hot water? If you raise the temperature slowly, he won't notice a thing until he's boiled alive. A soft-bellied northerner might have seen the danger coming, but the southerners practically had scales and fins themselves. The sea took and took and took, thousands of little deaths, and they endured it all, I hate that word, it all, because they knew nothing else. They didn't think to fear the drowning until the water was lapping at their door. The lucky ones, the wealthier ones, with their homes set back further from the shore, managed to flee, But the waves rose up and swallowed everything, houses and shops and women and children, the old and the young. The sea has no mercy. The drowning was 200 years ago. The town was drowned 200 years ago, and that is how it happened and what happened. I just wanted to share that because I mentioned it before. It's the next day and I thought I would update you. I don't have too much to say, but I am on chapter 14, page 281. I'm less than 100 pages from the end. We have learnt something crucial about Effie's past, specifically her childhood. Definitely spoilers, so I can't go into it. I'm still enjoying it. It's a little slow at the moment. Follow Read with Cindy on Goodreads, and I saw her say that the climax 8, so she bumped it from a 3 to a 5, and that's crazy. Hopefully I feel the same way. Right now I'm sitting at a 4. That's my feelings. It feels like a 4-star read. The sliding is so annoying, but definitely something to know if you were interested in this book and you are the type of person that needs trigger warnings. There is trigger warnings for essay. I don't think childhood essay, I think it's just essay in general. It doesn't happen on the page. It's happened to the character before the book starts, but there is a lot of talk about it, reaction from the main character of the trauma and how it affects her in her day-to-day life. Just putting it out there that that is in here in case you're the type of person who needs to know. It is a little depressing to read about and hear about on every other page pretty much. By the way, I do not think that's funny. It's just one of the trigger warnings I need. It's just something that I personally don't want to be reading a lot about, but it's still good. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I am 100 pages from the end. I don't know if I'm going to finish it today. I have already been reading for 3 hours today, and it's dinner time now. I might want to drag it out an extra day till tomorrow, so I'm still taking it slowly and not rushing through. This has been my companion while I've been reading. Like pretty much all day. Hi. You don't have to take up a sword. Survival is bravery too. I did finish it. I think I'm sticking with a 4-star for this book. I definitely had issues with it. I did. But there was a lot of things that I enjoyed. I'm gonna start with my issues. Effie as a character was very annoying to me, very childish. I did not enjoy being in her perspective. I did not enjoy at all how racist she was towards Preston, her love interest. She was very racist towards him, always pointing out where he came from and how he can't write a paper about another place because he comes from here. Even though he is half and half, she just refuses to acknowledge the fact that he is both. She keeps insisting, nope, you're this, you're this. It made me pretty uncomfortable because we were supposed to root for them and he was never rude to her, really, but she was very rude to him and bigoted. She was very close-minded when it came to the different nationalities, I guess is what it would be. And it was just uncomfy to read because I just felt Preston deserved better, someone who wouldn't be so racist towards him. Obviously, as she started to like him, she became less racist. She never really actually apologized for it. She gave like a, I'm sorry for the way I spoke to you, but she was never like, that was really wrong of me and disgusting and I'm sorry I put you through that. He didn't get a proper thank you or a proper sorry. So that made me really uncomfortable. I did not like that. What I did like though, I did like the mystery that we uncovered about the book Angerard. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's the book that Effie loves. It's the most famous book in this book. And I liked the mystery surrounding that. I liked the outcome. I thought that was good. I really loved how there was something that happened towards the end with between two certain characters. I don't want to spoil, but between two certain characters where there is just an understanding and the feeling of being seen and like you're not alone. That was the scene where I was tearing up. Everything to do with those two characters in particular, and just how they finally felt understood with each other. I found understanding within each other because they have similar experiences. I'm trying not to spoil it, I don't know, but I loved that, and I thought that was well done and nice. But obviously I did have issues. I didn't like Effie as a character. She was so insufferable. I hated how she was racist towards her love interest. It makes it really hard to root for them because she is such a close-minded and childish person. I am sticking with a 4. It's kind of a low 4, but it's still a 4. I am looking forward to reading the second book. I actually looked up the synopsis for it. It's A Theory in Dreaming, and it comes out in August this year. It sounds interesting. It's dual point of view, I'm pretty sure. Preston's point of view sounds very interesting to me, and I really hope I like that one more than I liked this one. I'm not sure if I will, but I'm still going to read it nonetheless. But those were kind of my thoughts on A Study in Drowning. It's very half and half on how I feel about it, but the things I did like, I liked a lot. The uncovering of what the mystery is, and also the drownings of the actual town. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a unique plot point and not like anything I'd really ever read before. So overall, I would recommend this book. Just be wary that Effie's probably going to annoy you, and there is a trigger warning, but there are things in it that are good and enjoyable. There is just some things that, yeah, bugged me. I think that's all I really have to say, and I think I'm going to wrap up here this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you were planning on reading this, or if you have read it and what your thoughts are. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.